Yeah, since January, it got thrusted on me to take the role, and I have had a lot of help from the older guys. It's been really good to be thrust in this spot, but a lot of pressure, a lot of new opportunity. It's really exciting, and I'm just really excited to have these guys behind me and the coaches, and just really excited to get to Buffalo.
A lot of your teammates have talked about how Max is a different leadership style than you.
Yeah.
What do you think the Drake Lindsey leadership style would look like?
I think I'm a little more extrovert than Max. Max was a little more to himself, introvert, but once he got on the field, he was a great connector. He led by example, led with his voice when he had to, but when he got out there, everyone could count on him, everyone could rely on him. He put in the work in the film room, brought me in there nonstop, so it was a blessing to have that guy.
Drake, you've been doing some work for Tanner Morgan. What are you doing for Tanner?
Yeah, I know. Tanner's awesome. He's been great to learn from more mentally. He's been through this. Been with Coach Fleck, been around Coach Harbaugh, so it's more of like a leadership role from him, but more of a friendship as well. Getting to learn from him what he experienced as a Minnesota starting quarterback for 3-4 years, and what he could teach me going into this year.
Drake, how much more ready are you now than if you've been asked to play a year ago, and specifically how is that different?
Yeah, I feel like it's day and night. I go back sometimes and watch last fall camp and spring ball, and it's just the little things, like managing the line of scrimmage, like looking at the play clock nonstop, making sure everyone's on the ball, off the ball, just the little things, that Max had really taught me and the coaches had taught me, and just the details within every single play. And I think this year it's day and night different compared to last year.
Lindsey, you are from Arkansas.
Yep.
Your sister went to Arkansas, your dad went to Arkansas, all that jazz. What made you choose University of Minnesota?
Yeah, it was kind of a late recruitment. It happened in mid-April, about to go into my senior year, and just the love they had for me, and how much they seemed to want me from the get-go. Right as they started talking to me, they just seemed like I was the guy, and they wanted me to come in here and make an impact on the program. And it just seemed like destiny, almost like with my grandfather playing in the NFL here. It just seemed like something was calling me here, to be honest.
Drake, as a quarterback, how do you go about developing anticipation, being able to throw receivers open naturally out of the break across different route types?
Yeah, I think at the beginning when you bring all these new guys in and throwing with new guys, it can be challenging, because everyone runs the routes just a little bit different. And it's just trust, throwing with the guys nonstop. Like we've gone on a few trips together and just developing that chemistry as friends, but also on the field, and just having deep conversations. Sometimes it's stopping on the field for 10 minutes to talk about a certain route, like how we want it to look for a certain coverage, how their eyes need to get around to me for the ball to be put on them in certain ways. And it's been great developing that chemistry with our wideouts.
What makes Darius Taylor such a good threat on the backfield in the passing game?
Yeah, it's constant communication with Darius. Like when me and him are in the backfield together, like practice, he's always just giving me little alerts. I'm talking to him. He's really elite. There's not many running backs like Darius. His hands are unreal. Like you'll throw him a ball that, it's like, oh gosh, I don't know if he's really gonna make that because it's not the best ball, and he'll make the catch. He's a special running back. His eyes are really, really good. And I think one of the best things is he's so intertwined with our blocking scheme up front. So he knows how fast to get out. He can get out super, super fast, and it's very easy to get him the ball out of the backfield.
Having gone through last year and being able to watch a Big Ten season from the sideline, seeing the atmospheres, the way you have to prep, all those things, what do you think the biggest takeaway that will help you as going as a starter?
Yeah, I think just the constant preparation. I was Max's roommate in the hotel, and I was with him 24/7 last year when I wasn't in class. And when we'd get to the hotel, he'd always ask me, we'd be about ready to go to sleep, and he'd have one more question, and it was just constant communication between me and Max, being on the same page. And it was really cool that he had that trust in me to, I'd look back at film, and we'd have a lot of really deep talks about the film and just breaking stuff down together, along with Coach Harbaugh. But Max was a veteran. He was a 6-year guy, so it was really great for me to see the preparation there, because I genuinely don't think there's anybody in the country that prepared like Max.
Drake, what can Point Parrish sort of add to the offense that already gets sprinkled in?
Yeah, I think Coy's very explosive. I think you can do a ton of different things with him. He's a very smart kid. That's one of my best friends now. We've developed a really good relationship. So I took him down to Arkansas in May, and we just hung out and played some golf, but got to talk about football as well. got to throw, and it was just he is a very special person, but it's unreal. Like, he can do a lot of different things on the football field that not a lot of people can do. So I think it's going to be awesome to see what he can add to our offense.
What do you
What's your
think
sense of
one of
how,
the,
go ahead.
what do you think one of the toughest things is kind of going into this leadership role this year?
Yeah, starting in January, I was 19 years old, so it was more like I feel like I was trying to act like Max in a way, like leadership style. And as you start to figure it out and earn more respect, just being in the building a lot, making sure, you're here more than anybody else, to be honest. You start figuring out what you need to do to be the best for the team and not try to be somebody else. There's a lot of things I learned from Max that I add to my game and just tweak it a little bit, football and off the field. But it's just developing that sense of comfort and just every single day getting better and better.
How does Coy handle the mental side of basically having to know playbooks on both sides of the ball?
Yeah, he does a really good job. Our assistant wideouts coach, Coach Foss, is on the side with him nonstop. After practice, working with him, and it's kind of my job as well to make sure he's good because of how close we've developed a friendship. And he's really smart. Like, in January, February, I have pictures of us after class is over, we're sitting in the back, going over formations, going over a ton of different stuff, just to make sure he's good for spring and then really just obviously for the season. But no, he's done a great job.
You'll be getting your first starts as a redshirt freshman in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
What do you have for your own expectations for yourself, kind of hopping into that type of role?
Yeah, just go out and play my game. Not overthink it. Just be myself. I feel like I'm a very good football player. I'm here for a reason, and I'm in the spot I am for a reason. So just go rely on my teammates. We have playmakers all over the place that are making plays. And it's just going through my progressions. Treating it like practice and just having fun.
I'm guessing in high school you probably didn't face a ton of adversity on the football field.
Yeah.
Probably see some more this year than you did in high school. How do you
100%.
think you handle that part of it?
Yeah. My junior year was the most adversity I'd faced in high school, but I watched Max through it last year. It's not easy playing big-time college football anywhere. There's going to be ups and downs no matter what college you're at, what university you're at. And I think it's just having the support system with your family, having the right circle, just being able to lean on people during the difficult times. That's going to get me through those times for sure.
What do you see in big playability from the receiver corps?
Yeah, it's very fun to watch. I feel like it's challenging sometimes to bring in all transfers, but receivers especially, to come in and fit our mold and what we're looking for. And, Javon, Logan, Malachi, even the guys, Jalen Smith, we have a lot of big-time wide receivers that have stepped up in the spring. Guys you didn't really know that were going to make the plays and that are really making the plays. So I think we're very deep at wide receiver. Got a lot of deep threats, got a lot of explosiveness in our offense this year.
How would you describe Javon Tracy as a receiver?
Man, that's one of my best friends too. He's awesome. We're always in the building together. We're hip and hip together. The thing I love about Javon is he's going to tell me what he sees. He's not just going to sit there and be like, hey, if I don't throw him the ball, he's going to be like, hey, I was open there. The corner did this or the safety did this. And it's really good to have that connection with somebody that's really thinking like me on the field. And when you get the ball in his hands, it's really special. You could see it in spring. You give him open space, he's going to make something happen. Really good route runner, really good hands, but it's really just that IQ. And with the ball in his hands, it's very explosive.
Some of your hardest games are away games this year. What are you and the team doing to kind of mentally prepare yourselves for those games?
Yeah, I think right now we're just attempting every single day to get better. It's kind of hard to look forward like that. I think we're focused on getting to camp, having the best camp we can have, and then getting ready for Buffalo.
What have you learned about the Wisconsin and Iowa rivalries since campus?
Yeah, it was pretty cool to see. Because I grew up in Arkansas, so I got to kind of see the LSU, the boot rivalry. Got to see some really cool SEC stuff too. And then coming up north, it's a little different, but it's all really the same. Fans screaming at each other, fans screaming at the players. I feel like it's the same everywhere. But no, the Iowa and Wisconsin game were super fun. That Iowa game was one of the coolest games. Even though we lost, it was just seeing that rivalry, and then going back this year, able to play at Kinnick is going to be an awesome experience.
Drake, if you could have dinner with one QB, past or present,
Yeah.
who are you picking and why?
To be honest, I think Joe Burrow. I just finished watching The Quarterback on Netflix, and that dude's just so awesome, really cool. crazy knowledge of the game, but just his presence and what he brings to the team. You know, I feel like I said this in high school, like when I was young, like a freshman, I said like my game, I kind of want to replicate Joe Burrow when he was kind of taking off in college. And it was just like his swagger, his aura that he brings to the field, like how the team just gathers around him. Like it's not always just constant talk, but it's like what he's bringing to the team. You know, it's always showing.
Time for a couple more if anyone's got them? We'll wrap it up there.
Okay. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Last year at center, what stands out to you about that transition to center for that year and kind of how it went?
I think it went pretty well. You know, being a center, you got to know the game, like motions and like a lot of things factor into each particular play. So just gaining that sense has helped me now at guard too, just understanding the game better. And yeah.
You and Ashton are very close, and now he makes the transition from guard to center, and you center to guard. What kind of bits of wisdom have you given Ashton as he transitions?
Yeah, well, he's doing a great job. I mean, he had plenty of reps at center last year, so you know that definitely helps. But yeah, just on the field, you know, certain things. If I think of he can do something a little better, you know, I'll tell him, and he'll tell me about guard too. So I think you know we're really clicking well in that sense, and you know just getting each other better.
A lot of new guys on the line and guys can be different positions. How's communication?
I think it's been going great. You know, obviously it's a process, but we're just attacking it one day at a time, and I think our room's getting really connected, and I think that obviously helps. But yeah, I mean, fall camp is really when we'll get tested, and I'm excited to see how that communication is.
You got a lot of reps with Nathan Roy right next to you, and there's a new left tackle competition going on. How would you describe Nathan Roy as a player and kind of his personality too?
Super talented. I mean, he's a freak athlete, can move really well, and you know it's fun to play next to him because how good of an athlete he is, and you know he makes my job pretty easy at times because you know in our past sets I trust him to do his job well, and you know in the run game he's gotten a lot more physical as well. So yeah, it's been super fun, and you know he's also getting better every single day, and yeah, I think we're gonna have a pretty good left side this year.
You guys have a veteran quarterback last year. The pass game was emphasized a bit more than in past seasons. You expect it to be the run game to be more important this year with bringing a new quarterback?
I mean, you always got to have a strong run game no matter who's at quarterback. You know, that's just football. It makes the game easier. So, you know, from an offensive line perspective, we're excited to run the ball, but, you know, every week's different. We're going to attack each week different. And, yeah, I mean, we have the utmost trust in our quarterbacks to get the job done.
In general, does a running game come easier for a line at the beginning of the season?
I mean, you train for it all. So, you know, we're prepared to do whatever is asked of us. And, you know, yeah.
Great defenses have so many exotic fronts these days, you know, disguised blitzes, simulated pressures. How do you go about handling all that mentally and making a split-second read and decision?
Yeah, well, I think it starts with preparation first. You know, that was a big thing for me last year is learning how to prepare better. And so when you get out there, it's not your first time seeing it. So I think that's what really helps. And then really it's just reps. You know, there was some times last year where I saw something new, and you kind of just got to, you know, learn on the fly, and then you look back and learn from it. So, you know, now that I'm going into year 3, I think I've seen a lot of things. And, you know, that obviously helps your preparation as well since you've done it. But, you know, there's still going to be things and little wrinkles here and there that you got to prepare for.
Greg, when you're breaking in so many new guys in other spots in the line, how much sort of leadership and responsibility have you kind of taken on this year?
Yeah, I've definitely tried to have a bigger leadership role. You know, they're coming in from, we got a bunch of guys from new schools, obviously, and, you know, just teaching them how we do things here. And, you know, they've been great. They've all been working super hard. Everyone in the room has gotten a lot better just from this off season, and it's been really fun to watch.
To that point, this offensive line group is almost essentially a melting pot from Nathan Roy, redshirt freshman, potentially getting his first start, to you and Ashton, to two transfers that have played a lot. How is that kind of all coming together? Just so many different kind of even life experiences.
I mean, I'd just say it's been fun. You know, playing with that group, it's a lot of fun. But, you know, I think everyone in the room makes it that way. And, you know, it really doesn't matter who's out there. We're going to go get the job done and perform.
What does your group do off the field to bond?
I mean, you know, we'll hang out here and there. You know, me and a few guys got the chance to go down to O-line masterminds, and that was a great opportunity just to, you know, learn from some of the best in the world. So, you know, doing that and then just dinners here and there.
Anything else for Greg? All right, thanks, Greg.
Thank you, guys.
Morning, everyone. Like you said, my name is Frank Bierman. I'm a tight end. This will be my 4th season with the Gophers, so I'm fairly familiar with the program. I am honored to be elected a captain this year, and whatever you guys need, we can open it up for questions.
What was the transition like from Iowa Western to a Big Ten school?
Yeah, so it was very different because junior college is just very individualistic, which is not something that I was very keen to. So coming to a program like this, row the boat culture, Coach Fleck, very team oriented. Everything is about the team and what you can do for the team, which is something that I really loved and was really attractive to me, and it was very different. So once I got here, I fit in right away. I was a new guy then, so all the guys then welcomed me with open arms, and it was a really easy transition because, like I said, I fit right in, and I made some really good friends along the way.
Frank, how excited are you about this tight end room's versatility and just how all the skill sets can be featured in the offense?
Oh, I'm incredibly excited. We have, like you said, we have a lot of different skill sets. We did lose Nick Callerup. He was a great leader, a great friend of mine, and he's doing great at the NFL. So we have to move on with life past Nick Callerup, which has been just fine. We're going to look a little different. We're going to play a little different because we don't have him. But at the same time, we have a lot of our strengths of our own. And we're really confident in what we can do. We're all confident in ourselves and in our coach, Coach Eric Kaler, and what he's been able to coach us to do. And we're just really excited to see everybody out there on the field this year.
How has Drew acclimated to the tight end room since he transferred in, and how would you characterize him as a player?
Yeah, Drew Bibbers fit right in. He's super athletic. He can run forever. He has no terminal velocity. His heart rate never gets up, and he can run with the best of them. So he came in January. We recruited him a little bit in December, and he came in January, and he's fit right in. All the guys love him. All the guys on the team love him, especially the tight ends. We hang out with him on the weekends and after practice. He's really easy to get along with. He's become one of my best friends, and it's just been a great time having Drew. We're really lucky to have him.
Hey, Frank, in your time, what stood out the most to you about Drake Lindsey?
Drake Lindsey, he's the ultimate connector. He does a great job at connecting everybody on the offensive standpoint, from the O-line to the wideouts. You can have some very different personalities, including the tight ends, but he does a great job at connecting everybody and pushing us towards a common goal, which is winning games and being the best that we can be. And then at the same time, he does a great job at connecting the offense with the defense and the special teams to make it a completely holistic team, which is what we're going to need to win football games.
Is that the part of so you learned some of that from Max, too? It seemed like that's what he was really good at.
Yeah, Max was really good at that too. Drake kind of puts his own flair on it. Drake has a different personality than Max, which is fine, which is good actually, because they took different ways at leading, and Drake has his own style. He doesn't need to be exactly like Max Brosmer, and he and I have had conversations about that, and he's been open with that. Just like I said, his ability to connect everyone and lead the football team in his own way has been really, really refreshing to see, I guess.
How is his personality?
He's very open. Max was a little more introverted. He'd connect when he needed to, and he was great at doing that. But Drake is just a little more extroverted. He's a little more openly passionate. You know, he kind of wears his heart on his sleeve, and he can do and says as he wants. Max was a little more contained. So it's just a difference in personalities. Nothing's wrong with either of them. It's just they're a little different.
You're more the H among the tight end room. Is the number changing out to Kyle Juszczyk and all?
A little bit. We have watched him play a little bit in the offseason. I have personally, and I like the way that he does things. The coaches thought it'd be cool, just because last season I did a lot of cut black, a lot more physical stuff. And And so they thought that would fit me a little bit better. And I just liked it, switch it up a little bit. We got 1 year left, switch it up. My parents were a little besides themselves because everything they got is number 85 and everything they passed out is number 85. So me going to 44 is a little bit different, but it makes me happy. And like I said, 1 more year.
The physical aspect of the tight end position here for you, is that something that's been passed on through the O'Keefe on down?
Yeah, certainly. So I'm not very privy to the history of before O'Keefe, but I'm sure it got passed down to Co. And from Co to Brev and Brev to Nick, they were all in one room, and it was very physical. And then from Brev to me and Jameson, and me and Jameson on down. So that is one part of the tight end room, and the other part is the coaching. The coaching demands, it's a very physical position, and that's something that we need to know, and that's something that we need to embrace. And we do, and that's something that we love to do, and something that's going to continue no matter who's playing, no matter who's coaching. The tight end room at Minnesota is going to be physical.
Frank, a lot of new faces on that offensive side. How did that sort of come into shape during spring ball, and what do you expect that offense to look like?
Yeah, there are quite a bit of new people. A lot of new personalities to get used to. A lot of new playing styles that are all going to have to fit into how we play football. And so that's been one of the biggest emphasis of this spring and this summer is just getting everybody integrated in how we play football. And then, like I said, at the same time, kind of with Drake, just kind of adding your own kind of flair, your own personality into how we do it and making it your own. And so there hasn't really been any challenges with it. Everybody's fit in pretty well because, like we said, everybody's culture first, and they know that coming into the program that you're going to be culture first. And so everybody's embraced that. Everybody's hit that head on, and it's been a great time getting to know all the new guys, making new friends. It's been a really fun experience for me.
Frank, where do you think you've expanded your game most since you got into this program?
Since I've gotten here, mostly the thing that I've learned the most is just like how to play football and how to watch football. So when I got here, I didn't really know how to watch film, and I didn't really know how to play football or how to read a defense or how to run an offense. Now, with more experience and more coaching, I can kind of dissect a defense better. I know like what an offense needs to look like, so then in turn, I can teach that and I can pass that down to the young guys who maybe don't know the same things. And so, yeah, I'd say that's the biggest difference since I've gotten here is just growing my knowledge of the game and just kind of how to play the game the best way, honestly.
So you grew up in Iowa, but it sounds like your family's full of Wisconsin fans.
Yeah.
Did you have a little bit of reservation getting to wear the maroon and gold? Or?
So before I was getting recruited by Minnesota, I was always kind of a Minnesota fan. I knew what PJ Fleck was about. I knew what Row the Boat was about. But like you said, growing up, I was a Wisconsin fan. And being in the state of Iowa, that's not really well accepted. So I've been on both sides of two of the biggest rivalries here. And so being on the Minnesota side now, I'm full maroon and gold. I'm full Gopher, and I have no doubts about that, and I love it.
Anything else for Frank? All right, thanks, Frank.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Before we ended up in Minnesota, the last time you considered Minnesota, you didn't end up here. Now you're here. How did it come to be that this is the final stop on the journey?
In the portal the first time, evaluated my options, felt like UCF was the place for me. Enjoyed my time at UCF, learned a lot, became a lot better player, and then again had the opportunity to enter the portal again. Had the opportunity to stay in contact with Minnesota, and when the opportunity came up, I knew this was the place I wanted to come spend my last season.
Not many people can say that they've played snaps at every position along the offensive line at the college football level. What makes you so versatile?
I think just the willingness to do it. A lot of people get stuck in just playing one position, but ever since I got to college, just wherever the coach asked me to play, I think it's that mindset of just knowing that I'm going to do whatever it takes for the team to win. So whether it's left tackle, right tackle, left guard, right guard, center, like you said, I've had the opportunity to play all of them. So wherever my name's called to go, I just go play and perform to the best of my ability.
Last year, you guys played an offense that had a lot of run game diversity, just conceptually. How has that helped you transition here to Minnesota as you learn what you're going to be doing from a scheme standpoint?
I think the biggest thing, like you're saying, is scheme. Because I've played all 5 positions, I look at it more so than just, oh, what do I do at this position? I kind of understand the bigger picture of this scheme and how it all works together. which also gives me the ability to play multiple positions. But again, it's almost been plug and play. There's some new terminology and things of the sort, but overall, it's been pretty easy transition into the offense.
What excites you about blocking for Darius Taylor?
I've had the opportunity to block for some good running backs, and he's one of the best, and I'm excited to have him behind me. We do a good job of making his job look easy, and he does a good job of making our job look easy, and it just works together very well. He's a great athlete.
You've worked next to him now for 6 months. I'm going to assume you're pretty close with Dylan Ray. You at right guard, him at right tackle. How would you describe Dylan Ray as a person and then as a guy next to him that works on the offensive line?
He's a hard worker. He's got great work ethic. One thing about him is he's going to play through the whistle, and as an offensive lineman, that's something you love to see. And then overall outside, we hang out a lot outside of football as well, and he's just a good guy to be around. Great conversations, just being able to learn from each other, piggyback off of what we all know, and just being able to grow together. It's been a great 6 months so far.
What could fans expect to see out of you as an offensive lineman?
I think the same thing like I was just talking about with Dylan. The group that we got right now, myself as well, we're just going to play through the whistle. We're going to put our hats on hats to be assignment sound and just give everything we got to make sure that the team's successful.
What shows you that Lindsey's ready to be a starting quarterback in Big Ten?
From my perspective, I've seen him play. Like you said, we've been through spring ball, we've been through the summer workouts and everything like that, and just the way that he carries himself. He's the first one in the building most of the time, and just the way he goes about day in and day out. When most guys are at home relaxing, he's watching film. He's taking the little steps necessary to be able to be successful in that role.
What makes Devin Eastern and Anthony Smith difficult to go against?
We talk about the how a lot, and that's something that they got. Their motor is very relentless. They have that second burst as they get through their rep, and it's created great competition as we went through spring ball and then as we get ready to start fall camp.
While watching your games, I've noticed how comfortable you are working in space and using your mobility. What's helped you excel in that area over the course of time in your career?
I would say just the biggest thing is knowing what's going on around you, and then knowing where you can not get beat, but where you have to be in order to be successful. Overall, I think just the little details on the jump rope, on the ladder, just little things to work on your footwork, and then just constant repetition of your steps and your sets, being able to be successful when you get in space like that.
How does an offensive line unit become consistent?
Time. That's the biggest thing. You get your 5 guys in there working together, and over time, I know what he's thinking, he knows what I'm thinking, and as that kind of gels together, we always talk about 5 as 1. Everyone looking through the same set of eyes, seeing everything that's going on through the same set of eyes, so that way we can be successful.
As an older guy in the room, what have you seen from a younger guy like Nathan Roy, who's battling to be the left tackle here this fall?
He's a great athlete, he has great feet, and he's eager to learn, which makes it easy, because he's always asking questions, he's always looking at how he can improve, and at the end of the day, guys who are hungry to learn, they're the ones that absorb the most knowledge.
Anything else? All right, thanks for
Appreciate you guys.